Hello and welcome to another Facts and Dimensions Spotlight dataset. In this video I'm going to cover the Friends and Family Test data. People used to using the NHS will have come across this picture several times. When you go to A&E or you go to GP practice or somewhere, you'll often be asked to tick one of these smiley faces to state whether you'd be extremely likely to recommend this service to your friends and family if they're in need, all the way to extremely unlikely. And this is recorded in a national database, so we can now usefully compare all of our services according to what the general public, the users of the service, feel. Obviously, it's very subjective. If someone's very happy in an area that has a poor service, but relatively the particular service they've received is good, they might tick very happy. Whereas the exact same service in another completely different area, where the services in that area are generally fantastic, that same service might be poor relatively, and they'll tick an unhappy face. So it is very subjective, but nonetheless still useful. If you want an objective analysis of how services compare, please see our other video on the CQC dataset, where the Care Quality Commission does their analysis. So let's have a look at what we have. I've already run the procedure for adding these tables to our demo database. And here they are. So you've got data for A&E, ambulance services, community health, dental practices, GPs, inpatients, maternity, mental health, outpatient, and a relatively new one, post-COVID organisations. With this data, we've got all of the results. So let's go for site data, A&E site data. So I'm just returning the top 1,000 here. You've got measure category and measure. So let's do a distinct to see what sort of stuff we've got. So we've got measure category. Oh, let's also do measure as well. A bit more useful. So you've got the breakdown of responses. That's the difference between the very likely and the unlikely, and percentages, and a few other bits here. But these are the most interesting. Also, as you can see, sometimes they change in the data, the friends and family data, what the smiley faces mean, but they're generally basically the same. So you've got extremely unlikely, otherwise known as very bad, and very good would be tantamount to extremely likely, and so on. So if we have a little play with the data, let's pick RJR, which is, let's just quickly find out what that is actually. It already is the latest, isn't it? That's Countess of Chester Hospital NHS Foundation Trust. So let's return that in this data set. Order by effective date. This data is recorded every month, although there was a period during COVID for about a year where they paused it, which is a shame. Okay, this is that site, so let's pick one of the sites, RJR05. And just have a quick look which one that is. Countess of Chester Hospital. Okay. So here we have breakdowns of responses, other stats here too, but these are the ones I'm most interested in. So I'm going to return breakdown of response as well. So you've got by month. So there's April 2013, then May 2013, and so on, all the way to July 21. That provider must have ceased since then. That would explain why it's no longer there after July 21. The actual max data in this data set is, let's just have a look at that too now. select max effective that's October 2022. So I don't know, maybe that particular provider doesn't have data for the last few months, but anyway, you can, when you get your own trial license and access this, you can have a play. So you can see numbers of people responding don't know, or extremely likely 23, extremely unlikely 1 back in April 13. And then if we go forward in time, I mean, these are small numbers, but you know. So June 2021, very good, which is the same as extremely likely, 501, versus very poor or extremely unlikely, 37. And as I'm sure you can already imagine, you could compare this with all the other sites in the UK, in the NHS, and do the same with ambulance and community health and so on. So extremely powerful data set, really useful for seeing how the NHS compares. You'd want to merge this with the staff FFT one, which I've added here. This one here. And that's where you've got staff that would be anywhere from extremely likely to extremely unlikely to recommend their own department. One thing though with this data set is they did cease not long ago. I'll just do the max effective snapshot from this one. Yeah, September 2019. But they do have since then another one called the Staff NHS Survey, which I'll do another video about separately. And also, just to mention, in the Friends and Family Test, there is data going back to April 2013 and up to October 2022 as at now, and obviously that will keep going, it's still live. But yeah, I'm sure you can make some use of that. Thanks.